Now, y'all already know what time it is. It is time for the mess. So let's get into it, y'all. What's going on, y'all? This be your boy Scattered by Nature TV, and we're here for a brand new episode of Yes for the Mess, where we talk about celebrity gossip, hot topics, and all things reality TV based. What's going on, you guys? I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful hump day, and I intend on doing the exact same. What's going on, you guys? Now, before we get into what we're here to talk about, let's talk about the church announcements. Let's talk about what we got coming up on the horizon. Now, first things first is Boys Night Out. Boys Night Out will be airing later on this summer, honey, okay? Later on this summer, it will be airing. And we're looking at a late August, early September date. So make sure you guys tune in. We will be coming together to plan the show in just about a few weeks. So make sure you guys get in tune. Also, tonight is Roasted Review, okay? And we're here to do Love and Hip Hop ATL. Me, Terrence, and Josiah will be coming back together again to talk about Love and Hip Hop Atlanta's new season, episodes 1 and 2. So make sure you guys are ready for that. But with that being said, that's pretty much all that we got coming up, okay? Now, before we get into Carlos King, let me let y'all know something. Now, as you guys already know, Monday night, we did the Whether You Like It or Not panel, okay? And we did it with Busy Blue. Now, it was a pretty spicy panel, one of the spiciest panels we've ever had, because Busy Blue is quite the contrarian, and he doesn't agree with most of us on the panel, which is the reason why I brought him there. So let me just say this. Please, you guys, don't try to pit us against each other. I love Busy. We have a personal relationship. I already knew what it was given before he came up on the panel. We argue like a married couple anyway. So what you saw was banter that we do all the time. And then, I was just deleting certain comments because they just really trying to make this out to be something big to talk about. I was giving hater energy to Busy because he didn't agree with me. I knew he wasn't going to agree with me when I brought him up. So how is that hater energy? We already knew what we were giving when we came up there. Y'all need to stop it with the trying to pit people against each other. Like, stop doing it. Like, we fuck with each other. We good. We had a great time on the panel, and he'll be back soon. Okay? Peep that. He might be one of our rotating guests after that because he did a great job. Like, he did a good job to me. Very entertaining. So if you haven't watched the Whether You Like It or Not panel, go on and tune in, because Busy Blue showed up, showed out. He clocked in to work, honey. Okay. But yeah, with that being said, we're about to go ahead and get into it. Now, I know you guys been waiting on me to do this Carlos King recap. I know y'all been waiting on me, and let me tell y'all, normally I have my Carlos King recaps out by Tuesday morning. Y'all know that. But because the panel went on so late, we did it for like 3 hours. By the time we were done, it was almost midnight. And I was like, oh, no. I'm going to bed. We ain't finna do this. I'm going to bed. I do it when I get home. So I'm at work, and the story about Monique Samuels and Chris Samuels divorcing comes out. And I put a poll up, and I'm like, do y'all want the Carlos video first, or do you want the Monique video first? Everybody wanted the Monique divorce video out first. So I came home, I went live, did that, took a break, and I knew I had to do Love and Hip Hop later anyway. So at the end of the day, Carlos had to get pushed back. Now, hopefully next week, we don't have to keep pushing it back. But yes, Carlos, this is a Tuesday morning video, but we're doing it on a Wednesday morning at this point. So, I kind of fast forwarded to the parts that I wanted to discuss. I didn't care about anything else that he had to say about Drew and Rap and all that stuff. I fast forwarded through that. That was pretty much fluff for me. So what we're going to do is going to watch along and react. I know y'all been waiting on me to do it. And this is what we do every Tuesday. Okay, hold on. Let me adjust the speed real fast before we play this. No, not the quality, but the speed. Not the quality, but the speed. That's what I'm trying to do. Not the quality. Yeah. Okay. I know y'all waiting. This is becoming a thing, me doing, reviews on this. So we're about to go ahead and get into Carlos, because I got a lot of things to say, and I know y'all ready for me to say what I got to say. So let's go on and get into it, y'all. Let's take a listen at what Carlos got to say about this situation, and y'all gonna hear what I got to say about it. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it, y'all.
So one of the things that happened in tonight's episode is the fact that Kandi had a sit down with Sanya and pretty much was telling Sanya that she's riding the fence. And what was interesting about this conversation is the fact that Kandi revealed she's not an emotional person. She talked about the fact that her brother passed away when she was a teenager and she had to keep moving. That's how she processed it. And what did I say to y'all? Everybody processes grief differently. Everybody. Her process was, it happened, let me move on from it and focus on business. That's what happens. And obviously, she has my complete condolences when it comes to that. Everybody does when it comes to anyone passing away. I know what it's like to lose a family member, my mom. It's devastating. But one thing I've realized with me and my 9 siblings is all of us process my mother's death very differently, but we didn't judge each other for it. So when she said that she's not an emotional person, she's more motivational, it really dawned on me like, okay, if you want people to accept the fact that the way you process grief is differently and you're not an emotional friend, then I appreciated her revealing that. And I feel like if that's the case, then maybe you really should understand now where Marlo's coming from, because Marlo is clearly dealing with the passing of her nephew differently.
But she's not dealing with the passing of her nephew, Carlos. She's using the passing of her nephew for the sake of a storyline, for her to keep her job, for her to keep her peach. She don't give a fuck about her nephew, because if she did, she would have been said something about this a long time ago. Was she even close to her nephew like that? She didn't even know the man even worked at OLG, Carlos. Like, your slip is showing. Let me tell y'all, whenever I do these Carlos King recaps on some of his videos, because I don't do it on all of them, I do it on most of them. I want y'all to know that I don't have anything against Carlos. I actually like Carlos. I love what he does with reality TV, whether I like the shows or not. I mean, he's the reason why we got Bill Collective. He's the reason why my friend Latrice is putting on for our city. So I don't have no problem with Carlos King, but I'm definitely going to call him out on the delusion at times. I got to do that. And he sound crazy here. How it's not going to be easy to process where Marlo is trying to link Kandi to the murder of her nephew, like she got something to do with it. How you gonna take something that happened at Blaze, not OLG, something that happened at Blaze, and you take it and make it about your nephew who didn't even get child? Let's continue.
You know, like that really struck a chord with me, because one of the things that Kandi has been accused of on the show, not this season, but past seasons, is the fact that people claim she doesn't know how to be a good friend. And one of the things that Phaedra said when she was talking to Nene, remember that scene where Nene had a rooster's nest on the top of her head, giving you Marge Simpson vibes? In this case, it was blonde. And Phaedra was crying to Nene, saying to Nene, "You've been a good friend to me. I expected more from Kandi." And they cut to Kandi enjoying her ribeye steak at the restaurant when Kenya and Cynthia accused. Remember when Cynthia said, "I was told you're having an affair with Mr. Chocolate." And Kenya had to finish Cynthia's assignment, okay? And then Phaedra got her unasked purse and tried to like wiggle it and boop, pop Kenya in the head. And Portia and Nene got up and said, "Phaedra, let's go because you're about to like lose your job pretty much." And Kandi sat there, ate her ribeye steak with the steak sauce, mixed in with little chives and a splash of butter with some garlic and a slice of diced tomatoes.
She did that because she knew that Phaedra was messing around with Mr. Chocolate. But continue.
Phaedra talked about she didn't feel that Kandi had her back. And there were these big conversations about that. And so for Kandi to admit tonight that she's not an emotional person, I felt like, okay, that's something we could have learned earlier in the season. Because one thing about friendships, everybody's friendship is differently. But one thing I will say is, because Kandi did say, "I'm not an emotional friend, I'm a motivating friend." And we do need motivating friends. But I would like to say this. When someone is dealing with something emotional, that's not the time to motivate them when it comes to business or how to get money or how to start an LLC. You know what I mean? Like there's moments where you have to, especially if y'all are friends, you have to find the emotional bandwidth in order to see how someone is dealing with something. And although this person may not be dealing with it the way you are, it doesn't mean you can't meet them at the emotion. Y'all get what I'm saying? When something happens to your friend and they're emotional, they don't want to hear about invest in the stock market and get $100,000. They need you to be their friend. They need you in that moment. And although that may not be who you are, when your friend is hurting and is looking for emotional support, you're going to have to dig deep down inside. No, not dig deep inside your pockets. You're going to have to dig deep inside the pocket of your heart in order to meet them where they are emotionally. And that's why I'm now fully understanding this Marlo Kandi.
You saying not dig deep down in your pockets, but that's exactly what Marlo wanted Kandi to do. You say deep, not you got to dig deep down, not deep down in your pockets. That's what Marlo wanted. She wanted flowers. She act like she wanted Kandi to pay for the damn funeral. So she did want her to, dig deep down in her pockets, Carlos. Like I said, Carlos' slip is showing because he clearly don't like Kandi, and it's gonna show throughout this whole damn video. Let's continue, honey.
Kandi and Sanya issue, because when Sanya was on my podcast last week, she confirmed what I said to y'all, that listen, Marlo's a lot of things, and we'll get to that later. However.org, Marlo is a good person. She's very sensitive and she's very emotional. And Marlo does show her love in a very big, elaborate way. I don't show my love that way, but there's not one friend of mine, there's not one who's breathing that can say, when they needed me on an emotional field, I never met them where they were. Never. I've always have. Because, and I'm a hustler. I love to tell y'all how to start a business. I love to tell y'all how to drink apple cider vinegar with lemon juice. By the way, a lot of people text me about my recipe. Y'all welcome.
It's crazy to me how he's sitting up here trying to, in so many words, come for her and the way that she is emotionally. But he literally just said that people grieve differently. People process, death in a different way. Some people are numb. Some people are not. Some people are emotional. Some people are not. But you just said everybody's not the same. So just because you're able to give somebody that emotional stuff, everybody's not able to do that. Why is it? What you want people to do? Do you want people to force the shit up out of them? Because it's not going to be real. People, we have to allow people to be who they are. This just strikes the chord with me because at the end of the day, I know I'm not no emotional person, and I say it enough. I say it all the time. I know that I'm not. I do what I can do. You know what I mean? It's not, I'm there to listen. I'm there to, let you get your feelings out. I'm there for you to give you encouraging words. I'm there for all of that. But if you looking for somebody that's gonna cry with you, wipe tears and shit, that ain't me. And this is why we got friends for different things. I know who to come to when I need to talk to somebody. I don't go to all my friends. I know exactly who to go to. You know what I mean? I just feel like Carlos is full of shit, but we can continue.
I'm that boy. I'm that boy who does a happy Sunday post every Sunday to motivate people. So I agree with Kandi in that sense. I'm that way too. But what I've had to learn, when you have real friends want you to meet them emotionally. And that's something that, Kandi, you're going to have to work on if you want real friends. Because a lot of people are saying you have yes people around you. And based on what I've been seeing, just work on that. Okay. So in this conversation, Kandi and Sanya also talked about the fact that Kandi feels like Sanya isn't being her friend, is not being loyal to her. And listen, y'all can read me, y'all do anyway, but I need for y'all, where are my day ones? Because I'm going to talk about some things that I've seen over the course of the franchise of Atlanta to really understand where this is going. Color me confused. I don't see the issue with Sanya choosing not to pick a side. Kandi, you're not helping this argument when it comes.
But see, that is the dumbest shit that I ever heard, Carlos. Are you here? No one's asking her to pick a side. When you hear her say the words, you're straddling the fence, that does not necessarily mean, bitch, I need you to pick a side. That is not what she's saying. She's saying that Sanya is sitting in her face and she's not being a friend to her. What we're saying is it's okay to be friends with Marlo. Nobody is saying that Sanya cannot be friends with Marlo. We all grown. We could be friends with whoever the fuck we want to be friends with. That's a fact. But the thing of it is, she looks out for Marlo, but she doesn't look out for Kandi. That is what it is. You can't sit up here and call yourself my friend, but you don't look out for me when I'm not there. When Drew and Kenya were making jokes about Marlo, Sanya defended Marlo when she wasn't around. When Courtney was talking shit about Kandi in front of her, she laughed and then tried to come back and give Kandi the tea. What you giving Kandi the tea for if you didn't even defend her? Like, you diminish how Kandi feels about this Marlo situation, but you're so empathetic to how Marlo feels. It's one-sided. You only seeing it from one side. You're not trying to see it from the other person's side. If you're really friends with both of them, you can try to see it from both sides, but you don't. You never hold Marlo accountable for anything. And then I see people say, why does Sanya need to hold Marlo accountable? The same fucking reason y'all used to say that Kandi needed to hold Kenya accountable. I used to see that shit all the time. Kandi never calls Kenya out. Kandi never calls Kenya out. But she did call Kenya out multiple times. She stayed calling Kenya out. So I'm not understanding, why is it okay for Sanya to not, to not hold Marlo accountable for anything? She can see clear as day how Marlo feels about shit, but yet she cannot see it when Marlo is doing something to somebody else. I don't understand that, but it is what it is. We can continue, child.
Comes to, you really are being accused of having yes people around you. We've seen it with the OLG, what they call the Kandi Cody crew. People are saying that, and your argument isn't holding firm, disrupting that, because why does Sanya have to be loyal to you? She's been on the show for 2 years. She met you and Marlo the same time.
She's being loyal to Marlo. You're saying, why does she need to be loyal to you? Why does she need to be loyal to Marlo? How does that make any sense, Carlos?
Bat station. Why does she need to choose you over Marlo? Just because y'all
Why does she need to choose Marlo over Kandi? Why does she need to choose either one of them? Make that make sense.
Together in Jamaica doesn't mean that there's an alliance. Now it's making me think you like alliances, because, and I'm gonna say, y'all gonna read me for this, I don't believe in the Kenya and Kandi friendship. I think that's an alliance. It's not genuine to me, based on how Kandi treated Kenya when she got on the show, because Kandi was indeed loyal to Phaedra. Read me.
So people can't grow. Like, people can't grow to like somebody. Carlos not making no fucking sense. He's not making any motherfucking sense at all. And he's showing his slip, because you know damn well you can meet a person and misunderstand them, and years later you understand them better, because that's exactly what happened. She wasn't fucking with Kenya due to the things that her best friend Phaedra was saying. And when she realized that when she found out that Kenya was being lied on by Apollo, she apologized and they got to be cool. What exactly is wrong with that? Why are you still talking about some shit that happened 10 years ago? Do you know that me and my best friend Tay did not like each other at all many moons ago? When we were in high school, we did not like each other at all. 5 years later, we winded up having the same friend in common, went out to dinner and became the best of friends, and we've been best friends for 11 years now. Carlos, please, like, come on now. Like, please stop. You don't make no sense.
Even if you want to, I don't buy it. I base things off of facts. If y'all believe Kenya and Kandi's friendship is genuine, then believe that, child, believe anything in the world.
But you think but you believe that Sheree and Martell's relationship is real, and that it's entertaining, and that it was the most interesting thing off the show. If that's the case, we don't need to listen to you either. But okay.
Okay? It's a friendship of convenience. And this ain't the first time that I said this.
So what is Sanya and Marlo's relationship then, Carlos? What is that? If Kandi and Kenya got an alliance, then what does Sanya and Marlo have? Make that make sense.
I said this to some folks privately.
I bet you did.
Allegedly. I don't see it. And again, I base things off of facts. Yes, can friendships change over the course of the years? Sure. There's no way I came on a show and for the first 4 years of the show, you paid me dust because you were really friends with this other person. And I get that. But all of a sudden, y'all besties? I don't see it. The way you know someone is real friends is when you're able to see if one of them gets fired from the Real Housewives, okay, do they still keep in touch off camera?
But they were keeping in touch off camera. And isn't Kandi and Cynthia was one of the reasons why she came back to the show? in season 12, they brought her back. And on top of that, wasn't Kenya just on a birthday trip with Kandi, going to Turks and Caicos? Don't their kids play together? Don't they hang out all the time? Kandi, Kenya, Cynthia, and Eva, don't they hang out outside the show all the time? Carlos, you full of shit. Continue.
That's how you can tell if a friendship is real. If a friendship is rooted in reality. If y'all think for 1 second that the Kandi and Kenya friendship is real, y'all the same ones who think Garcelle and Sutton are besties.
And you the same one who think that Sheree and Martell are a real thing, and that they are the biggest draw to this show. But okay, Carlos, you know your pretentious ass know everything. Okay, okay.
Let's talk about it. Y'all know good and dang on well, Sutton will never in real life befriend Garcelle. It's all about the alliance of who you're with on the show. Sutton wanted so badly to be amongst the Kyles, the Lisa Rinnas, the Doreets. She wanted to be amongst the cool girls. When they weren't messing with her, she was forced to really be friends with the newbies.
The same way Marlo wants to be up Kandi and Kenya's ass, but she decides to link up with Sheree and Sanya and Courtney because they don't want to fuck with her. Ain't that the same thing? But you praising it. Okay.
And that newbie was Garcelle because they were both newbies. Now, when you look at Kandi and Kenya's friendship, I'm not saying they don't like each other. They do like each other. I'm not saying they don't have a good time hanging out. They do. Kenya is a fun girl. What I'm saying to y'all is this. It's a relationship of convenience. If Kenya Moore was off the show, I promise you, they would not be hanging out like this.
But they do.
The reason why it's a relationship of convenience is because if you look at season 5 and season 6 poster, look at the poster. You have Nene, Cynthia, Phaedra, Portia, Kandi, Kenya. Out of those people I just named, I'm going to do this exercise once again. If you look at the poster of season 6, because season 5, the top Kenya was there, then she left. So let's just focus on season 6. In the season 6 poster, the cast comprised of Nene, Phaedra, Portia, Cynthia, Kandi, Kenya. Out of all those women I just named, 4 of them are no longer on the show. 2 of them, Kandi and Kenya, remain. Therefore, it's a relationship of sheer convenience. We're the last 2 OGs, if you will, who were on the show doing the prime. Sheree is back as the original OG, okay? But Sheree wants to figure out her relationship with the other ladies. Kenya and Kandi only have each other. Y'all know good and dang well, if Portia was still on the show, Kandi will be friends with Portia and not Kenya. And if y'all can't see that...
But Portia was on the show season 12 and 13, Carlos, and Kandi was still friends with Kenya. What the fuck are you talking about? You make no sense. And I get it. You are a producer. You work with these girls before. I understand it. So I can't take away nothing that you're saying. But at the same time, what you're saying doesn't make any sense because you're talking about, I guarantee you, if Portia was on the show, Kandi and Kenya wouldn't be friends. But they were friends while Portia was on the show. Did you not watch season 12 and 13? This is where you're losing me at. So you're just talking out of your ass and you don't make no fucking sense.
Y'all see what y'all want to see, and that's just what it is.
And you're seeing what you want to see. Period.
But it is. Y'all see what I want to see. Y'all talk to somebody who's been in it. I know what I'm talking about. If Portia was still on the show, I guarantee you, Kenya and Kandi would not be as close as they are on TV.
But they were though. But they were though. What are you talking about?
Y'all is reality shows are like the game of Survivor. It's all about an alliance. It's all about an alliance. The only real friendship that I have ever seen on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, a real friendship, like a real friendship, Nene, Cynthia, Phaedra, and Kandi, Phaedra and Portia. And then as
you really believe, you talking about real friendships and alliances, Phaedra and Portia was definitely a fucking alliance. They don't hang out outside this show. When was the last time you seen Phaedra and Portia together? Outside of Nene's thing. Like, Phaedra wasn't even checking for Portia when she first came along. They didn't start being cool with each other until they both got divorced and they both had a common enemy, which was Kenya. They had a fucking alliance. And then the other common enemy was Kandi. But you want to say Phaedra and Portia was real friends. Child.
At some point, Kenya and Cynthia. Because Cynthia definitely from the middle. And I know that because I used to get phone calls at midnight with Nene and Cynthia on the three-way conferencing me in because Nene did not want to show up at the event, the masquerade ball, where Kenya was honoring her. And Cynthia and Nene on the three-way with me because Nene didn't want to show up. But she showed up and showed out. It's amazing how many friends I have, and I didn't even know about it. Yes, Nene Leakes, you legend. Anywho, I digress. So, listen, I know that some of y'all don't like Sanya, and that's fine, but y'all got to start putting on your critical thinker hat and start seeing things that are facts, not things that you're feeling is like, oh my gosh, I'm team so-and-so, so I'm going to ride with the team I'm on.
We
don't do that reality.
But that's what you're doing. But that's what you're doing, though.
So I don't think Sanya's doing anything wrong. I don't. It's okay to have multiple friends. In real life, let's have a real conversation. In real life, when you have multiple friends in a friend group, you don't choose one or the other person. If these two people don't like each other, the way I roll it,
but that's not what she's saying, though. Y'all are literally being obtuse just because you don't like Kandi. That's not what she's saying. She's not telling her to pick a side. She's telling her to be fucking loyal. And she's not being neutral. She picked a side, but she's acting like she hasn't. That is the problem.
And y'all need to figure it out. But I'm going to mess with you, and I'm going to mess with you. It's not my place to choose sides. Why does Sanya have to pick sides with two women she has known for 2 years? It doesn't make sense to me.
But she picked a side.
It doesn't. And again, when Manyetta was on my podcast, I said to her too, I called you a puppet because you said out your own mouth that when Kandi saw you last season, in a scene where Marla was talking about her, she called you and said you did not have her back. I didn't make this up. Manyetta said that on my podcast. That's why I was like, Manyetta, no shade, and I love you. You're actually making a point for me. Like, you're pretty much saying to us, Carlos, you're right. She called me out for not having her back. So when I came back on the show, I started boom. So it goes to show you that there could be some plausible reasons why people are saying Kandi likes to have yes people. Sheree said it tonight. Do these people wipe her ass? Now look, I don't know if they're Dr. Nurse or Nurse Betty or Nurse Jackie, okay? But once again, y'all can read me and all this other stuff. I see things at face value. If y'all disagree with me, explain to me why you disagree. Don't just say because you're fans of this one person or you're fans of that person. Where are my critical thinkers? Okay, the raindrops. Where are the people who don't pick sides? My raindrops be reading me sometimes. Carlos, we don't like
But you are picking sides. No. It's clear that you're picking sides. It's clear that you're picking sides.
I love the next one, though. Anyways, let me get... So, with that being said, what happened over the weekend is my conversation with Sanya went viral because she listed... Well, let me back up. My conversation with Sanya, which is on my YouTube channel, so if you missed it, go watch it. I actually really enjoyed it. And a lot of people did say, Carlos, after your interview with Sanya, I like her. And that's what this podcast is about. I interview people to make sure y'all see a side of them that their shows aren't showing because they got to share camera time with multiple people. So on my podcast, I asked Sanya, if you had a crystal ball, name 5 other housewives you would love to be on a show with. I asked everybody this question. Not only me, a lot of people ask everybody this question. Sanya answered it by saying, Sheree, Marlo, well, I've already worked with Kenya and Kandi, so let me just take them off right here. And let me add Claudia. I think did she say Portia and Phaedra? And she said, because Phaedra and Kandi can't be in the same show the same season. So let me add Phaedra and remove Kandi for this season. And then Kandi can come back the following season. It was fine. It was so fine that y'all didn't make that clip viral on your own. Let's have a real conversation. When Sanya listed the housewives she would love to be on a show, not one of y'all made that clip go viral because all of y'all know it wasn't that deep. It wasn't that deep and it wasn't shady. And this is coming from the Shade Master. It wasn't shady. I did not even clip that to promote her interview because I felt like it was a very standard answer that everybody answers. It wasn't that deep for me. Kandi felt that Sanya's answers were shady and said, you want me to get off the show? What about you? They call you boring. Which they do. And I asked Sanya that. I said, Sanya, the girls and the gays and they. And she answered it. But I never thought that was shade. I didn't think that was shade.
I don't think
everybody
it was shade
answered that question. So then Kandi said, you listed people you were a fan of. You're a fan. Let's stop there. Me and Dustin Ross talked about this on my Love and Marriage recap about the word fan being used against people. What is wrong with being a fan? Why all of a sudden is the word fan a negative connotation? Why? I am a fan of people. I am the king of reality television, and I am still a fan of people. And y'all see that when y'all watch my interviews. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love you. But I love you. I'm a fan of people. People are fans of mine. What is wrong with being a fan? Do you mean to tell me when you reach a certain pinnacle of success, you have to forget all the people you are a fan of? This is weird.
I don't think that's what she was saying, Carlos. You really taking it to a whole nother level, because I don't even think that's what she meant. Now, did Kandi, do the most with this whole thing about what Sanya was saying about who she would work with on the cast and things like that? Did she do too much with that? Absolutely. But I think you are doing too much with this fan shit, because I don't think that's what she's saying at all.
Stupid to make the word fan sound whack. We should be lucky to have fans. I don't care so are you saying that celebrities can't be fans of each other? I don't like that.
I don't think that's what she's saying.
I don't like it in general. I'm a fan of Dustin Ross before I met him. I was a fan of DJ Richie Sky before I met him. I was a fan of all the housewives. Well, I was a fan of the ones who I got, like Kenya. I was a fan of Kandi. I was a fan of Claudia Jordan, Kim Fields, Shamari. I was a fan of Keely. Bitch, Keely?
I'm here to be
and I'm still a fan. I'm a fan of Tamar Braxton, Toni Braxton, Tawanda, Trina. I'm a fan of a lot of people. Does that mean that the moment I become famous or work with them, I have to, I'm not worthy of calling them people I like? That's not cute to me.
I don't think that's what she was saying.
Yeah, you a fan. We're all fans. If you hit the follow button on someone's page and you don't have their cell phone number, you are a fan. Let me repeat that. If you have social media and you hit the follow button on someone whose phone number you don't have and you don't talk to in 5 to 7 business days, you are a fan. And that's okay. I'm a fan of people. People are fans of mine. Show me somebody. I want to meet the person who isn't a fan of someone. We got to stop that. I think it's whack to intimate being a fan makes you lower class than people. And again, I'm not saying they said that. That is the feeling that it gives. So what if Sanya is a fan of Phaedra and Portia and Shamari? Is that a bad thing?
I don't think that's what she said.
In the words of Boots on the child, you know it's hood, but I bring up Boots. In the words of Boots, honey, from Flavor of Love, in that viral clip. No, I want to know. I really want to know this. I want to know this. Bitch, I want to know. Since when is being a fan a bad thing? I think it's whatever. Let me digress, because I'm hot and bothered by that. Because I don't like that. You a fan. Okay. I was a fan of Oprah Winfrey. And I get to create shows for her, network, and I get to work with her, and I met her, and I'm still a fan. I will always be a fan of Oprah. Always. At my big age. Y'all gotta, this is why things are weird. So based upon that, this is what I'm saying, y'all. To me, Sanya's answer was not that serious. I didn't take it a shade. Tell me what y'all think. But what I'm saying again is, Kandi, it doesn't help your case that all Sanya did was answer where this is what I think I would like to be on a show with. It goes to show you that you may have to look deep down inside yourself and say, do you like to have yes people around you? Because I don't think Sanya did anything wrong. My opinion. Anywho, one of the reasons why I really did love this episode is because I enjoyed the personal story of Kenya wanting to have another baby. I'm a fan of Kenya Moore. Kenya Moore is a Detroit icon, Detroit legend. I'm a fan of hers. And I like seeing the side of Kenya. I thought it was it was real. And you could tell Kenya's emotion was deep. And I understand where Kenya's coming from. Some of y'all on Twitter felt that, why does Kenya want to have another baby by March? And when she said, look, if I had a choice, and again, I want to make sure what she said. Kenya said, if I had a choice, I would want to have one baby daddy instead of multiple baby daddies. That's what she would like. And some of y'all were trying to go off on her, which I'm like, that's her choice. Y'all didn't go off on Khloe Kardashian for doing the same thing. Kim Kardashian did the same thing. Kylie Jenner did the same thing. These are women who have multiple kids by one person, despite their marital issues. And in Kylie and Travis' case, despite their issues. Kourtney's pregnant. Kourtney is the first sibling to have more than one baby daddy. That's her choice. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. Again, my opinion. Okay. One of the things that I really enjoyed about the Gucci brunch is I felt that it was the first time Sheree presented herself as an OG, as a force multiplier, as somebody who started the show. and was able to be in the driver's seat. Sheree, round of applause. But I thought Sheree did a fantastic job at being the leader of the group. I want to see more of that from Sheree. I thought Sheree's behavior was stellar. The fact that she was
He gives Sheree so much. I swear he do.
able to bring all these girls together, and then she kicked off the conversation by getting emotional. I felt that was genuine as well. I enjoyed seeing Sheree.
You think that that fake ass crying that Sheree was doing at that table was genuine? Carlos, see, this is what I be saying. I love Carlos. Like, I enjoy his take on things, even when I disagree. But when he does this delusional shit, like, you could tell what side listen, that was not genuine. She wasn't even crying for real, Carlos. Stop. Just stop.
Lead the girls. Y'all love to say these other housewives on the show is the leader, and they're just not. And it's no shade. Not everybody's meant to lead. Sheree showed tonight that she needs to be in the leader seat more often, because one thing that I witnessed, that I'm curious if you guys too witnessed, was the fact that each one of those women respected Sheree and listened to her. They all listened to her. Sheree did an excellent job at playing neutral. She allowed people to talk. Listen, was she shading her confessionals?
Right. Something that Sanya should learn.
And that's what happens in confessionals. She doesn't know when they're going to use which clip at what scene. When Sheree was in front of those women's faces, she made sure Marlo spoke. She made sure Kandi and Sanya spoke. She made sure Kenya spoke. Marlo left. Sheree ran after her, got her to come back in the room. I enjoyed all of that. And that's the reason why I'm saying to y'all, listen, y'all may disagree with me on this one. I really did enjoy tonight's episode. It was the first episode in a long time where I felt like nobody was trying to have a moment. I felt that Marlo was being herself. I felt that Courtney was being Courtney child. But Courtney, the jury's still out. I don't dislike you, but I got to see more. Okay? I enjoyed that scene. And I really did want Marlo and Kandi to have a one-on-one. Because to me, their issue just isn't that deep to where they can't speak to each other. There's been worse things that happened on that show where people were able to forgive each other. And I feel like there's so much forgiveness that can be handled when it comes to that issue. I think it's a non-issue. I think it's one of the things where shoulda, woulda, coulda, let's shake hands and move on from it. That's how I feel about it. But again, I thought Sheree did an excellent job displaying that she is an OG. And I want to see more of that from Sheree, because everybody respects Sheree's position. And it reminded me of when the girls respected Nini's position. So when y'all ask about who is that anchor on the show, I even questioned it. Tonight showed me the anchor is Sheree. And Sheree needs to be put in more positions to get the girls together. And I thought it was a great scene. I thought it was a great scene. So let me know what y'all think. Let me know if y'all disagree with me or not. I'm pretty sure some things I say y'all gonna be like, bah! But overall, this was one of the better.
Let me tell y'all something. Carlos King is really full of it most of the time. He is. And at this particular moment, I feel like he is. Because at the end of the day, ain't nobody. This is the thing that really bothers me with this whole Kandi and Sanya thing. And I feel like people are being obtuse on purpose when it comes down to Kandi and Sanya. No one is telling Sanya to pick a side. No one is saying that she got to pick a side. What we're saying is, stop acting like you're neutral when you know that you're not. You're not neutral. It's clear that you picked the team. I can't take Carlos seriously when he thinks that Sheree and Martell was the thing that really popped this show off. I can't take him seriously when it comes down to that. You say that Kandi and Kenya are not real friends, but you going up for this fake ass shit with Sheree and Martell. Those are the things about Carlos that I just don't understand. And I get it. He's the king of reality TV. He's a producer extraordinaire. He was the reason for a lot of the biggest moments in the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I know that I'll never take that from him. But sometimes his opinions be flawed. I don't give a damn what he's done. I just feel like that whole thing was just his way of, coming at Kandi. That's how it came across to me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but some things I did agree with. Like Kandi was doing a bit much when it came down to this whole thing with Sanya and, you know, the game that they played and stuff like that, because it's never meant to be that damn deep. It's just never meant to be that deep at all. It should never be that deep. Like, I didn't even understand why she was even hot and bothered about that anyway. The fan comment may have been a little bit much, but the way that Carlos took it, I don't think that Kandi was meaning it that way. Because, I mean, even Tammy called Evelyn a damn fan. I mean, what are you saying? So I don't know, y'all. But what do y'all got to say about this? What do y'all got to say about my recap? What y'all got to say about my comments? I just want to know, because y'all been waiting on this video and it took me 2 days to get this thing done, but we got it done. So with that being said, this be your boy Scotty by Nature TV. Be sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe, and share this video, and also click on the notification bell so you can be notified whenever a video drops. If you want to follow me on any form of social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and my TikTok will be down below. With that being said, your boy Scotty is up out of here. And until my next video, I'll holler at you guys a little bit later. Bye.